Hi and welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My name's Lizzie and I'm really glad you're here. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Um, Flosstube channels are mostly, mine is anyway, about cross stitch. I also dabble in other crafts but I haven't shared them yet on here because cross stitch is my main hobby. And I will talk about my work that I've done. It's been a couple of weeks since I last made a video, and they've been quite tough weeks if I'm honest. University has been hard, but then I'm doing a master's, so what do I expect? I'm getting good grades or good enough grades, so yeah. And I'm doing this later on in the day than I normally do because I needed some time off today. Sorry if you can hear the dog throwing his Kong around. I'm just trying to keep him happy. The other one's asleep on the sofa at the moment. And yeah, so it's 7ish, I think, in the evening on Saturday, the 10th of February. And yeah, let's talk about some stitching, shall we? So I've got a finish. Well, a start and a finish. So I'm taking part in Dee's 20 Stitches Pride Stitch Along this year. So a Stitch Along. And it was something I signed up for in December. And each month she sends us out a pattern and some learning based on this. This year it's learning based on artists that identify as lesbian, bi, gay, trans, all of those types of things. And I think it's really important that we learn about people who of that society, of our society, identify as such, because there are lots of things going on in the world at the moment that are trying to silence their voice, and I would like to be a part of the opposite of that and lift up their voices and introduce people to their work, their identity, and try and just let them know that they're safe in this world, because unfortunately at the moment they're not, and I would like that to change. Right, so this month the learning that we were sent was all about, I don't know how to say his name, as an artist, an Afro-Caribbean artist, African American artist who is gay and lives in America. He's called Kihind Wiley. Oh, gosh, words today. I have to tell you, I'm really tired. Words are really hard. So, Kihind Wiley. You might recognise him. He painted President Obama's portrait, and I've watched the video about that, and his work is amazing. It's all like portraiture, but also with the most amazing background. So see that background he's stood in front of? Oh, that's like his work. I'm going to try and get some prints because it's like really amazing portraits of themselves and then put them all over the top. He's doing a lot of work in Brooklyn, New York, for black trans folk, and trying to provide safe spaces for them. And so yeah, so the pattern we got was, I mean, it's not a portrait, but it sort of has the essence of the man, whose name I can't say, so I'm not even going to try. Behind. I tried to work it out in my head, or maybe Google can tell me. Anyway, so the pattern we were sent was of the essence of, and no, I can't work out how to make it speak to me. No. Okay, so anyway, here's a coat of arms. Old European coat of arms, all surrounded by flowers and beautiful vines, and I really love stitching this. Took me a couple of hours. I did it in a DMC. I think I've written down what colour DMC it was. She says, yes, I have. 520. My little book of tricks, my little book of notes. Can you see that? They are a joy to stitch. The one I stitched last month, the blue one, and this one, they were just really nice quick stitches. And yeah, this fabric is just a basic bog standard Ada, but I wanted it to be a bit green, so I went and got some leaves off the passion flower and a hammer and combine the two, get rid of some frustration, and there you have some different Ada. I don't know how well it's going to hold up. It might go mouldy, it might go brown, we'll see. For now, it's living in my book of notes. I've got a plan for when I've got a few more of them stitched up, because they're all, I think, a similar-ish size. I've got last month's in here and this month's, and when I've got a few more stitched up, I will put them together, finish them off, and then you'll see what that's going to be about. But I think I need to wait until about July to be able to do what I'm planning. Maybe June. Moving swiftly on. So I said that for my husband's birthday, because he's 50, he's out for a walk at the moment, which is why I'm doing this now. Normally film in the morning. If you're new here, I normally film in the morning on a Saturday. Every other Saturday now I'm trying to do. But yeah, I needed a lie-in. Have I already said this? I have stopped and started a few times, so I may have already said it in this video. Needed a lie-in. Life's been tough. So I'm doing it now while he's out for a walk. I said I'd try and get this done for his 50th. This is page 1 of 8. And I said I'd try and finish this by the end of the month. Or did I say try and do a page every month? Well, the top of that red bit is the top of the page. And I have filled in all of these, because it did look like this last week. So I filled in lots of holes, which was fiddly, and I've done this red bit up here. Do I enjoy it? Not so much. What I do love stitching on though, I'll just put this behind it, is this. Oh no, that's my side. Trust me, you don't want to see the back of this. So I said I would finish the red tree of AKGIT. Well, it's not supposed to have red trees. It's supposed to look like this. This is what it's charted as. Charted by Jacob de Graaf of Modern Folk Embroidery. And it's a gorgeous pattern. But when I saw it, I thought, I know what that would look good like. Look good like. Now. And here's where I'm at. So I've changed the pattern to be colourful. I'm using the Roxy Flosco Pride threads, and I'm stitching 1/1 on 28 count antique white Lugana from Zweigart, I think it is. I absolutely adore stitching on this. Don't look at the back. Don't look at the back. It took me forever to get that red tree done. Most of the week. Fortunately, uni this week hasn't required much of my time in the evening, so I've literally come home and sat and done that red tree because I've so loved doing it. I'm hoping maybe I'll get back to it. I could, did I say I could stitch I could always stitch on this on its own and not do any other projects because it's that fun. But I don't do that. I stitch on other things. So that is now, I think, 11% done. So that's exciting. 11%, I think there's 5 trees on the top row. So it'll take us about here, won't it? 5 trees. Whoa. Lovely, lovely. What colour tree shall I do next? Vote down below. Well, don't vote because I don't know how to put a vote on here. But out of the rainbow colours and the trans colours, so baby blue, baby pink, and I've got brown and black. What colour tree should I do next? So the Roy G. Biv and pink, blue, white. I'm really not sure if I should stitch white on white because nobody will be able to see it, including me when I stitch it. But otherwise, let me know what you think, what colour I should do next for the next big tree. I'd show you the threads, but they're put away and I'm trying to be quick before the husband comes home. So the next thing I've stitched on is another new start. Aren't I naughty? No, I'm not actually, because it makes me happy. Now, I showed you the pattern for this last week, did I? That I bought the pattern for this because myself, Roz, Craft, Clark's and... Sorry, the camera angle might have changed. Right, last time, I think I'm on the wonk as well. Oh well. It's quite fitting. I'm a bit wonky. I don't think it's going to change, sorry. Last time I showed you this. Ink circles, elemental dragons, water. And I'm doing this as part of the first most magnificent Ink Circles Round Robin UK. I think that's what we're calling it. Sal. So how's this going to work? There's 4 of us. There's me, there's Ros Clark, there's Clem Barker Stitches and Kath W. And we've each chosen a pattern. We're all going to stitch a quarter of it, the pattern, then we're going to package it up and send it on to another person. I think we need some organisation into who's sending to, otherwise poor person might get 3 projects. But I'm sure somebody's going to take that in hand. I could organise it, but I've got enough on my plate. No, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it whilst this is uploading. Send an email. Message. I'll send a message in. So yeah, we're doing it on Instagram. Our little groupie chat is on Instagram, and so somebody has finished their first quarter already, and I'm very impressed. We don't need to finish it till quarter past April. You can see how tired I am. 15th of April, we're going to try and get these in the post by. So yeah, I'm doing this one. I have started, and I've decided, because mine's how it is, a quarter is actually going to be a quarter this way rather than chopping it into 4 that way. A quarter this way. I need to make a working copy because it's a really hard chart to follow, or I think it is. So yeah, let's show you where I've got to. Ooh, I am stitching this on some Lakeland fabric. No, Lakeside Needlecraft Co. fabric, which I got from Lakeside Needlecraft, and it's called Aquamarine. And I'm stitching it, it's 18 count, and I'm stitching it 2 over 1, and this is what it looks like so far. Let me put something behind it. You'd think I'd get used to doing these videos and be ready. So I've stitched the little boat. Now I did that 1 over 1, and I didn't like the coverage, so I switched to 2 over 1. I'm shaking. And I'm using colour. I'm using paint box thread, fine weight silk, and it's this blue colour, which I think is quite lovely. It's lovely on the aquamarine anyway, but I think it's really lovely. That's the colour I wanted to get when I bought some dinky dyes last week, which came out this colour. But don't worry, I found something to use them on. Keeping this in my project bag from Fiona that says, "I'm just a girl who loves dragons," because right now that's exactly who I am. It's Year of the Dragon. Yeah. So what I do when I'm stitching monochromatic mostly, what I do is I've realised it's easier to load up a load of needles and just get on with it. So here in my little tin, I've got my needles, and so I'll load them all up before I start, and then I can just stitch, stitch, stitch. As soon as one runs out, never mind, tuck the end and pick up the next needle, stitch, stitch, stitch. It makes it much quicker, and because I'm prone to distraction, when my needle runs out, I'll do something else, like pick up my phone, lose half an hour on my phone, or go and make a cup of tea, but just being able to pick up the next needle and carry on. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So that's how it's looking. That's exciting. I'm really enjoying it. I've done some at work this week, and so at work I found a place where it's called a work smart area. So it's like a hot desky area, but there's also a comfy area where you can make yourself tea and coffee, breakfast cereal, toast. So I get to university at about 7:30, and I'm a member of staff and a student. I get the best of both worlds. So I get to work about 7:30. My classes don't start till 9. So I go and make myself a cup of tea, sit down, do an hour stitching, and then walk up to where my lectures are, which takes about 20 minutes, and that gives me 10 minutes to settle down and get ready for the day. Excellent. And that's a nice little project bag to fit in my bag, and it's not heavy at all. So that's exciting. I love stitching. It just makes me so happy. And I love being able to talk to people about stitching. Watching Flosstube videos is one of the most calming things I can do, even if I'm not stitching. So if I'm really stressed with coursework, I will put on, there's a few Flosstubers, Fox and Rabbit, Antique Needle Worker. I've recently sent her and Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs, I've recently sent them some spools, like from wool mills or thread mills, that I found in an antiques place, and I had them on my shelf in here for a while, thinking, oh, I'll make something nice like Wild Cyrus from Naps does, and that I'll show off my stitching with that. And I thought, it was over Christmas, I thought, you're never going to do it, just send them to somebody who will use them. And both Carrie and Shelley from Antique Needle Workers and Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs, both love antiques, and they will stitch something to go on them. So I posted it over to them, and they've arrived finally, which is good, because I was getting a bit like, I sent that on the 1st of January. Where was I? I don't know. What was I saying? Yeah, Flosstube, great, love it. And there are loads of people I watch to calm me down and get me through hard times. Okay, should we talk about the Year of the Dragon? I'm going to show you here my coffee dragon. Now, I didn't do that this year, I did this last year. It's designed by, she's in Crash Test Dummies, Ellen Reed of Crash Test Dummies, as well as Maximum Cross Stitch. We take our designs to 11. I think that's what she's called, her company, her design company. Clarence the Coffee Dragon. No, it's just called the Coffee Dragon. I've called him Clarence. He is is the front of a cupboard in my kitchen that houses coffee. If I can work out how to stick videos together, which I will have done if you're watching this, I'll put a little video of him at the end, because I've done this in 2 sections now because I pressed the wrong button on my phone a minute ago. So he's my first dragon I've stitched. This was my second start. So this was my New Year's Eve start, and I got cross with it and it went on the naughty corner, but I picked it up yesterday and did a little bit more. So this was my New Year's Eve start, and it's Apples and Dragons by Quaternion Creations, and it's going to look like this. And basically I'd done this row of stitching over here, so I unpicked it all, and then I just put it away. I forgot about it, basically. It wasn't in my line of sight, so I didn't see it, so I didn't stitch it. So I did some more of that yesterday. And then I woke up this morning and thought, oh, Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon, I best do something special. So I've started something else. I've decided 7 dragon cells is a good number because there are 7 types of dragon. If you go by Iron Flame, there are 7 types of dragon. I go by Iron Flame. I love that book. No, Fourth Wing got me reading again, and that's a good thing. So I have started the Climbing Goat, A Field Guide to Dragon's Cell. I've started this today. I am doing it on some Coffee Craft 40 count. 2 parts have been released, so at the moment it looks like this. We've got a griffin and a Welsh dragon. Sorry, Wales, we just beat you at rugby. Ha ha ha. And I was stitching this while we were playing, so that was nice. That's where I'm at. I am mostly going to use this called for colours, but I decided for the border, wherever possible, I was going to add a little bit of sparkle, so I've used some toile thread and just matched as best I could. Can you see the sparkle in there? Maybe not. Yeah, so that's going to be nice. But one start for the day is not enough, so I've started another start, but this really isn't much of a start yet. Hopefully it will be. Can you see? Can you see what I've done yet? No. This is eventually going to look like this, only with some changes, because yeah, just because I'm me, because I'm using my purple sulky thread, not sulky, yeah, is it? No, it's Dinky Dyes. I'm using my purple Dinky Dyes, I think it's called Deep Pools, my purple Dinky Dyes, and I think I'll use a toile around the edge rather than the variegated, and get some sparkle into it too. There we go. I'm doing it 1/1 on 32 counts. I've written it down. 32 counts fabric by Pole Stitches, and it's called White Fay. Sorry, took me a while, didn't it? So it's White Fay. It's really lovely. And you're probably thinking, why are you using Dinky Dyes if you're doing it 1/1? Because I like it. And I need to be nice to myself, so I'm just using it. And then I've got another couple of patterns I want to start this weekend, but I also want to work on Sybil, my big dragon that I've just done not a lot of. I'm going to make my dragon count up to 7. So I've got, what, Apples and Dragons by Quaternion. I've got this one, 2. I've got this one, 3. I've got Sybil, let me show you Sybil zip. Sybil is this one. That's 4. Ink circles, 5. 2 more starts. Next time I see you, there'll be 2 more dragon starts and some progress on everything. I think that's all my stitching. Not a very long video today. Although, actually, I did record 12 minutes or so before I pressed the button. That's the dog grumbling at me for talking when he wants to be asleep. Yeah. Let's see if I can stitch all these videos together, stick all these videos together into one long video. I'm really sorry I'm a bit distracted and not really knowing what I'm doing. You might not have noticed the difference from normal. Take care of yourselves. See you in a fortnight. So this is my coffee cupboard. It's got my jug and my espresso mug underneath and my mocha pot up there. Don't use it so much anymore because I've got a big coffee machine where I can get coffee from a press of a button. And my clever husband fitted this frame to a cupboard wherein lives a little bottle of whiskey, some vanilla syrup to add to coffee, and my coffee beans. Yeah, so it's an IKEA box, IKEA frame. Obviously it had a kickstand, so he's taken that off. We need to put some tape on there really. And then he mounted it to the wall, I don't know how. And he put some hooks underneath. And there's Clarence, maximum cross stitch. I love him. He is stitched, I didn't say actually, he's stitched on some the Stitchy Ferret Ada, and as is my Apples and Dragons piece, stitched on the rest of it, or will be stitched on the rest of it is being stitched on the rest of it. Isn't he lush?